Sat together in the park as the evening sky grew dark. She looked at him and he felt a spark tingle to his bones. It was then he felt alone and wished that he'd gone straight. Watched out for a simple twist of fate. They walked along by the old canal, a little confused, I remember well, and stopped into a strange hotel with a neon burning bright. He felt the heat of the night, hidden like a freight train, moving with a simple twist of fate. A saxophone someplace far off played as she was walking by the arcade. A light burst through a beat-up shade where he was waking up. She dropped a coin into the cup of a blind man at the gate. Forgot about a simple twist of fate. He woke up, the room was bare. He didn't see her anywhere. He told himself he didn't care. Pushed the window open wide, felt an emptiness inside, to which he could not relate. Brought on by a simple twist of fate. He hears the ticking of the clocks, walks along with a parrot that talks, hunts her down by the waterfront docks where the sailors all come in. Maybe she'll pick him out again. How long must he wait? One more for a simple twist of fate. People tell me it's a sin to know and feel too much even though I still believe she was my twin, but I lost the ring. She was born in spring, but I was born too late. Brought on by a simple twist of fate. So there you have it, a little bit of Bob Dylan, Simple Twist of Fate. And I think I played it last week actually, but I played it in standard tuning, and it kind of, really, I was really kind of reminded of how beautiful that song is. And so I kind of delved into it and had a proper look at it to see how it was properly played, and it's in an open tuning, as you can probably hear. And so that's the latest lesson over on Patreon, and well worth learning. It's not too difficult, and it's a beautiful song. So I think it's worth taking a look at it anyhow. I think it's a really, really nice song, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So let me say a big hello to everybody. We've got the Captain Trips here, who's a new person along. Leo, welcome back, Leo. We've all missed you last time. Terry Cook, Paul Hilliker, Pat Murphy, Julie Flower, and we've got GT Stipe, we've got David Price, Blacksmith, and I'm sure we've got Preston Johnson with us tonight. And I hope, Preston, that you're doing well and recovering well and things are okay for you. I'm wondering if we've actually got Bob Hardy as well here tonight. I haven't kind of caught all the names and everything else. As I mentioned to you last week, I should say on the last show, Bob sent me a couple of harmonicas and a harmonica kind of stand thing that you can use to play, to play the harmonica while you're playing the guitar. and he obviously spared no expense when doing so, because he sent me the best stuff money can buy, and I'm just absolutely blown over. I haven't had the time I've wanted to actually sit down and really get some of my mojo back on the harmonica, but I just would have felt too embarrassed not to have had a go, okay? So we're going to have a go at this. Now, this was a play along, okay? This was a play along over on our, hey, Julie Ferrari, and Bob is here, which is great. We've got Claudio Zuna. Great to see you, Claudio. I think you might be new. Marco, great to see you. Johnny Guitar, bonsoir. And Biddy, shout me up. Okay, and that is very generous, Bob. It sure is, isn't it, Katie? Katie, great to see you here as well. Wayne Dell and Steve. Oh, wow. We've got everybody here. Willem Last and Andrew Marriott and Sal Cook. We've got you all here. I'm so fortunate to have you all with me tonight. It really, really brightens up my Friday evenings. And I'm so grateful for each and every one of you to join me. Now, we've got a lot to get through tonight. So you got to have your guitars at the ready, you got to have your pen and paper handy. That's always worth kind of having there, just in case you need to ask me something and I give you some details of something that you might find interesting. But most importantly, have your guitars ready, because what we're going to do now is we're going to have a go. Bob, I know you're saying don't worry, these things take time. Hopefully I won't embarrass myself too much, but I just have not had the time I would have liked to have had. But having said that, we're going to have a go. So all get your guitars ready, okay? This isn't part of the official play along, right? This is just a play along that we did a few weeks back. And it's Neil Young, Heart of Gold. And I'd love it if you join me, okay? It'd be really, really great if you could join me for this one, so you can cover up my mistakes. So yeah, this is, we'll talk about this once we're finished with it, okay? So I'm going to give you a moment to all get ready, get your guitars ready, because I want to hear you on this. I need you with me, folks. I need you to back me, okay? Whoo-hoo, Bruce Dorfman, Mike Laurie. Hey Mike, great to have you here. I don't know that I've noticed you here before, Mike, but it's a pleasure to have you on board. Okay, do we all have our guitars ready? Is anybody going to join me for this Heart of Gold, or are you just going to be listening? This is the Neil Young song. Sorry, I seem to have something in my eye. Wow, haven't felt nervous like this in a time. All right, everybody's ready to go. Everybody's ready to go. I love it. Hey Scott, Green Mile, forgot to say, I didn't see you for a minute. Glad you could join us. That's wonderful. All right then, so I'm hoping that you all are familiar with this song. Don't worry if you're a little bit unclear. You can just busk along and see how far you get. It's all about participating, and this is a great opportunity for us to do that. And tonight we've actually had a tie on the vote for the play along tonight. So we've got two songs that we're going to be playing along to. So we've got a lot of stuff to get through tonight, and this is essentially like a third play along. So it's a really great night for kind of, you know, playing along and stuff like that. So yeah, Argentina, hello there. Petula, great to see you. Yap, good to see you too. And Johnny Guitar and Brad Flint. Right, here we go. Make sure this is working. And here we go. It goes like this. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. It's these expressions I never give, keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old, keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old, I've been in my mind, it's such a fine line, keeps me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old, keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. Keep me searching and I'm growing old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of gold. And there you have it. It's thanks to Bob that we've got that with the harmonica. Thank you, Bob, very much. That is dedicated to you and your very kind generosity. Okay, and I'd just like to give everybody a heads up on this because I'm so chuffed with it. I've never actually had a harmonica holder as good as this. So I can actually, if we ever go back out and start gigging again, I can actually start including a few numbers, harmonica numbers in what I do. Now, this is made by K&M, and I just wanted to give them a quick mention because they make absolutely first class equipment. A lot of my stands that I use are K&M, and the beauty of their stuff is that they do spares for virtually every aspect of their stands, these kind of things, everything that they make. They make real quality products, and I'm so grateful to you, Bob, for this. It's a lovely thing. Compared to the last one I had, it's just like a Rolls Royce. You know, it's absolutely fantastic. So my philosophy has always been buy decent rather than if you buy cheap, you generally buy twice. And I've made that mistake in the past, so I try and avoid it now, with any future purchases. Because if you just buy something decent to start off with, it's going to generally last you pretty much a lifetime. So that's K&M, Koenig and Mayer. Fantastic stuff. How did it sound, folks? Did it sound any good? It is a marine band harp, indeed, Leo. Christian, great to see you. GT, yeah, we've got that. Yep, you got it. Michael Burke, hey, Michael, great to see you. Richard Humby and Blacksmith. We've got a lot of new people here tonight, which is really fantastic. So let me come back now and have a little look at some of the other little issues that I wanted to run past you this week. So, yeah, I get one thing I get asked a lot about is playing and singing at the same time. And I can understand kind of why that would be. It's a very good question. Now, I always suggest to the people that I teach face to face and the people that I teach online as well that whenever you're learning something new on the guitar, it's always worth trying to sing along with when you're playing. And there are a number of reasons for that. One of the main reasons for it is that it always tells you whereabouts you are in a song. Whereas if you're just kind of playing the guitar, it's easy to lose track and not really have a whole lot of discipline. You can find yourself going round in circles a little bit. And the beauty of when you try and sing a song, you don't have to be able to sing. This is an important point. When you're practicing, just try and sing. And if you have difficulties with that, just try and speak the words as you're playing along. Because what it does is it does wonders for, as I say, letting you know where you are in the arrangement, but also building up this kind of ability to be able to sing and play at the same time. Okay, so that's very, very important. If that's not something that you already do, then my advice would be to give that a try because you'd be surprised how much it brings your guitar playing on. Because what you quickly start doing is because you're focusing on, say, the lyrics and the words and stuff like that, your guitar skills get strengthened in a way because they become a whole lot more subconscious. And so it was a little bit exactly the same kind of thing when I was playing Heart of Gold there. There's no way I can play the harmonica and sing to that song if what I'm doing on the guitar isn't just completely automatic. If I had to think about what I was doing on the guitar whilst I'm blowing on the harmonica and trying to sing a song, it would just be all over the place. I would just not be able to do it. So this is probably one of the most helpful things I can tell you to do, in a sense, when it comes, for those of you who are interested in learning more about playing and singing at the same time. It's very much like a lot of other things. It's just a question of doing it. Okay? And so if you feel that that takes away some of the enjoyment of the playing, then perhaps what you can do is use half of your practice time doing that and the other half, you know, just relaxing and getting into your guitar playing, as it were. And I think it's a very, very valid thing. So if you're interested in playing the harmonica as well, which again, I would really urge you to do, because anything that takes you away from thinking about the guitar is actually going to accelerate your learning. So hopefully that makes some kind of sense and you can see the kind of logic in that. That's something that I believe works really well. So let's have a quick look at some of the comments here. We've got a lot of people. Hey, Richard Benton, great to see you. And Max there. Singing puts me off, Joe. I'm so far out of tune. Well, don't worry. This is what I'm saying. It's not about being in tune, Max. What it is it's about just doing it. If you're out of tune, as long as you're not doing it as a kind of performance for people, okay? So that would be my You Got Me Singing the Blues, a good one. Okay, Brad Flint, that's true, Joe. When I started playing, I relied solely on singing along to keep in time and make chord changes. I have difficulty counting a time in my head. Brad, that's a very valid point. All of these things are, you guys make some fantastic points when you come on here, and I would urge you to interact on the Facebook group, over at Patreon, over on YouTube. This is how we can make the show cover some of the topics that you'd like to see covered. I could come here every fortnight and just talk to you about stuff, and you'd probably find that quite interesting, etc. But it's great to have your interaction, because what I really get a lot from is trying to help you. If I can help you, that really, I feel really good about helping you out, you know. So that's why I say post those questions. It would be really, really good to have some of those questions, okay? So as Johnny's just saying there, buy quality, don't buy cheap. You buy cheap, you buy twice. Okay, Terry Cook. Hey, Joe, I seem to have made a step change today. Something has clicked in. That's great, Terry, and that usually does happen. Learn to sing a song first and learn to play the song on the guitar first, then practice it together. That's another great suggestion, Julie. What is a good way of practicing singing? Okay, good. So really, you know, put your guitar down and try and sing the song if you're interested in singing, and see how you get along with that. That can be a great starting point. So just become familiar with the arrangement, with the lyrics and things like that, and with the tune. Spend some time doing that so you learn it. I think the thing is it's about how well we learn things, and this is something that I wanted to touch on again during tonight's show, is that I was thinking during this fortnight I've had to prepare for the show and things like that, about some of the really what I feel to be important points. And this singing thing that we're talking about at the moment, or playing the harmonica, all of those things are kind of issues that I thought about. But one of the other things that really rang loud and clear to me was this idea of refining what you do. It's not uncommon for me to come across people that I teach them a song, and they've no sooner learnt it than they want to move on to the next song. Well, that is exactly the wrong thing to do, because you see, I believe personally that the magic only begins to happen once you truly know a song. So when I'm playing for my own pleasure and I'm improvising and things like that, let's just say, you know, I'm working on a shuffle, I'm going to start that really slow. Before I start trying to do fancy things with it, or just, you know, kind of play it really, really well. What you got to do is you got to just spend that initial time getting extremely familiar with it. And when you can play it with your eyes closed, then you've learned it essentially. You're not having to rely on sight so much. It's more of an auditory thing. So you're hearing things. So you'd be surprised. This is a little tip for you that often when I'm watching beginners or people who have just been playing a short while, they're really focused in on looking at their fingers, you know, be it the left hand or the right hand or whatever it might be. And it's not until I say, look at me whilst you're playing, that they realize that a lot of these things will happen by themselves. You don't really have to look at your fingers. Admittedly, once you're getting started, then it's important to just, you know, get accustomed to what it is you're playing. But as soon as you've done that, then it's a good idea to try and almost look away and see if you can learn something, like, you know, just by trying to hear it in a sense. So coming back to this shuffle thing, I'm going to be familiar with it before I start doing fancy things with it, you know. And this is my next lesson for those of you who are interested. I've been trying to come up with some ways to show some of you some of the Stevie Ray Vaughan acoustic techniques. And he plays like quite an advanced shuffle. With some great licks thrown in and things like this. And I'd just like to give you some of the little, break it down into little manageable bits for you so you can, you know, learn, have a chance of learning it, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we got this. Before you can kind of, a fatal thing I did before I started tonight was wash my hands, and you're never going to play as well once you've done that. So you can start thinking about adding licks to things then. So this shuffle is going to be with you tomorrow over on Patreon. And I've called it an advanced shuffle because that's exactly what it is. You're playing a shuffle, but you're putting chords in around the shuffle. So you're going. And the more you play these things, you can work on the speed. So if that's the kind of thing that floats your boat, tune into Patreon tomorrow. That's going to be there for you. Going to do some tabs with it and things like that, but it's just to get you started on some of these kind of shuffle ideas, okay? So I think it's worth learning, because those little 5-minute videos that I put together on 3 blues shuffles, 3 turnarounds, blues licks and things like that seem to go down very, very well with you. So I think it's about time we had a little bit of a play now, folks. So grab your guitars and let's see if we can have a little bit of a play along, okay? And we're going to start out with Knocking on Heaven's Door, because there was a tie between 2 songs, as I mentioned. One of which was Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan, and the other was Sweet Home Chicago by Robert Johnson. So we're going to start out with the Knocking on Heaven's Door, okay? So I'm hoping, really hoping, that some of you are going to join us for this, because that's the whole point of this type of thing. Now, this is a very, very simple song. Do you all have your guitar? You should be washing your hands every 10 minutes. True enough, Michael, but it's fatal. Now, I don't know if you find that, but what I find is these are all little tips that you may or may not find useful. They're just things that I would like to pass on to you because I find them useful. Now, for example, if I wash my hands every 10 minutes, I'm really going to struggle to do the type of things I do on the guitar because I don't know about yourselves, but it's one of those things that if your hands are very, very dry, that's when I'm at my best when I'm playing the guitar. I like them to be really dry. They move across the strings and the fingerboard really well. If you just go and douse your hands and get a fairy all over them and give them a good old scrub, they're damp for ages and they drag on the strings. So you can take it or leave it. That's just my little kind of tip for you there. So, are we ready for a little bit of knocking on heaven's door? I want to hear that a few of you are ready before I get started on this, folks. This is the play along. This is the big moment. So we've all been waiting for. Patrice is ready. He's the only one. I think Scott's ready as well. I want to see a few more readies. Leo's ready. This is the usual thing that we do. Max is just getting his guitar. And Julie's ready. Wayne's ready. Boulder Designer's ready. Yap's ready. Wow, Mark's ready. Ho Fidey's ready. Julie. Okay, Paul, Bruce, Richard, Willem, Dirt Worshipper. We're all ready. Okay, let's do it then. All right, are we ready? Let's just warm ourselves up. You carry on, don't stop because I've stopped. I want to listen to you. You're all sounding so fine. Keep it rolling, keep it rolling. Right, I'm going to start singing, folks. And sing along. Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. G, D, A minor. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. G, D, C. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I want to see you all soloing because some of us are backing you, all right? On heaven's door. Mama, put my guns in the ground. I can't shoot them anymore. There's a long black cloud following me. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Excellent stuff, folks. Well done. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Come on, let's hear those soloing. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. I'm going round again, I'm enjoying it so much. Mama, take this badge off of me. I can't use it anymore. It's getting dark, too dark to see. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. Well done, everybody, that's great. Everybody sing along. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Great stuff. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Mama, put my guns in the ground. I can't use them anymore. There's a long black cloud following me. I feel like I'm knocking on heaven's door. I'm knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Some solos, come on folks. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Knock, knock, knocking on heaven's door. Bravo, everybody, absolutely out of this world. Well done for everybody who took part there. Really excellent. I love this part of the show where we all get our guitars out and play together. It really is fantastic. So did you enjoy that? Hopefully you did. I might have slowed that down a little bit. I have done a lesson on that. I don't know if you've checked that out, but in part one of the lesson, I take a look at the chords, which are very simple. Okay, just G, D, A minor, G, D, C, and the chorus is just G, D, C. All right. But in part two of the lesson, I show you some of the little kind of lead lines that you can put in. Some of those kind of things. So some of those kind of things are worth learning. In fact, I've got a little challenge for you on that song. Because it's so slow and you've got so much time in the song, after every 3 chord thing, try and put a little something in there. It doesn't matter what it is. Just challenge yourself, because often when we challenge ourselves, the results or the outcome can be quite surprising. We can hit on various ideas we would never have come across. So when we put ourselves in these situations where we'll face a little bit of a challenge and, okay, I've played the 3 chords, I've just got to play something. Force yourself to play something, okay? So you do your G, do your D, and your A minor. Just go into your A minor pentatonic if you want, or something like that. You know, there's a lot of things you can do. Just experiment, you know, see, for example, where the best little scale that you can come up with to play over the track or something like that, or just a few little licks, like I say. So I think that's a good little challenge, because when you force yourself into doing something like that, as I say, you can come up with some interesting things. So you'll either take that on board and have a little bash at that, which I think is very, very worthwhile. So another thing that I wanted to pass on to you was this kind of, with the singing we touched on earlier about singing and playing guitar and things like that. I get quite a lot of correspondence where people are asking me, you know, they're struggling to sing this in this key or that key and things like that, and they have difficulty transposing it. Okay, so say for example we're playing, you know, something in C, F and G, and that just is too low for us. Does anybody know what the answer is to that? The quick answer? Let me just see. I'm going to wait for a moment to see if people know what the answer to that is. I'm sure a lot of you do. It's very, very straightforward. Yeah. It's not a difficult thing. But like I say, if you're... Andrew, well done. Bob, well done. GT, Sal, I've taught you well. Well done, Katie. Put on the cheetah. Well said, Richard. Stuart, yeah, yap. Okay, so you guys are obviously ahead of the game, okay? So there's a lot of people out there that don't seem to realize that, and that's fine, you know. There's when we're starting out, it can be a little bit overwhelming. So all you need to do is have one of these for those of you who don't know. So then you can just put it, say, up on the 3rd fret there, and you can think to yourself, right, okay, well, let's try a C, F, and a G there. And suddenly we've moved the whole thing up a tone, so it makes it a little bit easier for us to maybe sing. You might find, no, that's a little bit too high, so you drop it down a fret and you try it there. La 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 la, and you kind of sing along and see if that works. So I know it's kind of probably obvious to some of you, but like I say, we've got a lot of beginners here as well as people who are quite, you know, established on the guitar. So I like to try and cover a little bit of something for everybody. But don't forget this kind of refining idea. If there's one thing I'd like you to take away from tonight's show, it's that idea of refining things. You know, that's when things really, the magic comes about, you know. So... Endless has been busy playing, so he's missed some of the show. Well, that I can't tell you off for that, Endless. That you're quite within your rights to do that. Okay, so I've got some new things coming along to the patrons. So for those of you who don't know, I have a Patreon page, link down below. If you're interested in supporting me, helping me to continue on doing all these things that I do, then you can head over there, and that is a place that you can help me out to continue doing all these things. Now, as well as the Blues Advanced Shuffle, okay, so that's going to be coming at you soon, but also so yeah, something along those lines, right? As you can hear, it's quite an advanced thing, this. But what I'm going to do with it is break it down into little individual sections, okay? It's really, really nice little thing for you to learn this. It is a very difficult thing. I'm not going to beat around the bush here. I don't know how it comes across, whether it sounds difficult, whether it sounds straightforward, but there's a few unusual things happening in this. The song is called Mississippi Blues, and I think I've forgotten who it's by, but it's called Mississippi Blues. And what's unusual about it is it has a reversed bass line. So rather than the 6/5 in the bass that you may be used to, then we have a 5/6. and it's terribly counterintuitive to try and play. It sounds very simple, but as you're going to find out once I deliver this one to you, so that is really going to be fun for you guys. I'm sure you're going to enjoy that one. So make sure you're over at Patreon if you want to check that one out. What we're going to do is we're going to break it down into parts, else you really wouldn't have much of a chance of learning this one. And we just look at, like, the first part will be, second part will be, third part will be, fourth part is, fifth part is, yeah, so we'll break it all down so it's all manageable for you and you can learn something really special, because I do believe that is a kind of special track. So that's going to be coming your way as well. This is why I've been so busy kind of just trying to build up the material, so I've got something to keep you all really busy through COVID and just through the winter time, you know, when we naturally spend a little bit more time indoors and things like that. Not that you need a lot to keep you busy, because I was just looking over the videos over on Patreon the other day, and there are hundreds and hundreds. So it's 7 years I've been doing this kind of thing now. And I'd just like to take this opportunity actually to thank each and every one of you, because without your support and everything, guys, I wouldn't really be able to do what I've done, especially this last few years. All of those folks who have been helping me out at Patreon have really helped me to continue on doing what I'm doing. So I'm eternally grateful to you all, and I really would like to show my appreciation by mentioning that to you. Now, if you haven't already subscribed over at YouTube, it'd be fantastic if you could, because I'm looking to try and hit 50,000 before Christmas. I'm up to about 49,200, something like that. So it might be a little bit ambitious, but it would be fantastic to hit that 50,000 mark over on YouTube. It really, really would be great. So how are we all doing out there, folks? We've got, let's see, just see if there's any, you see, if when I look at the screen there's a little question, I will always endeavour to try and answer those for you as well. Because like I say, I like this to try and be as interactive as possible. Right, now then, where are we? Okay, so we've got, another thing that I get asked a lot about, okay, is buying guitars. All right, so what would you say is the #1 golden rule? It's interesting for me to put these questions, throw them back at you actually, to see which things you come up with. Because often I know a lot of you are very wise when it comes to the guitar and things like that, so you probably know a lot of the answers to these questions. So what would you say is probably one of the most important things when you're buying a guitar? I'm going to wait for a few answers there. Try and see if it fits, how the neck feels, how do I... Okay, get the best you can afford, test it out, play it. Okay, right, sound. Yeah, you know what, guys, you're all ticking all of those boxes, pretty much all of those things you've said. Size for you, lead belly, size matters, right? So I can appreciate that. You've got to get the right size. That's why I like this little fella. It's a nice little size, this one. And it is a very personal thing, and research. Okay, how does it look when I am naked? Hey, Richard, pack it in. Okay, so Stuart, go and play a few. All right, so look, the number one golden rule, I suppose there are two in a sense, right? One, don't buy offline if you can help it. All right, don't just think, oh well, it's a Martin, so it's got to be good, right? Forget that. You do not want to be doing it. Yes, they're great guitars, and something awful isn't going to turn up in the post. Okay, that's obviously not going to happen. All right, but the number one rule is to go out and play the guitars. Now, somebody recently asked me, what should they buy? One of these or the Eric Clapton, the other Eric Clapton Martin that I play? And honestly, I couldn't say go buy that or go buy this. All I can really say is go and play them. When I went to buy this guitar, this is a Martin CEO7, they had four of them. And you would be amazed at the difference between the four of those guitars. So it's not just a given because it's a high-end guitar that it's going to be a belter. I played for a couple of hours swapping, going through all four of them until I found the one that spoke to me. So that is the important thing. If there's one thing you must do, it's to go to the guitar store and play the guitars that you're interested in. Now, that raises another point, okay? Because, and to know a good guitar tech, as Katie says, is important. I can see that photo now, your grandmother, Katie. It's really pretty, really nice photo. Wayne Dell, a bit hard to try at the moment. It is indeed, Wayne, but it won't be like this forever, hopefully. Said size doesn't matter. What does she know? Take someone with you. Bob Hardy, yeah, absolutely. If you can take somebody with you, that's always good. Now, Wayne raises the point that I was going to mention, and what that is that it can be a very intimidating experience, especially if you can't play play a whole lot, and you can go in a guitar store and you can pick up a Martin because you want to buy the best that you can afford. You might not be fantastic on the guitar, and so you're self-conscious. What am I doing with this Martin guitar? I can only play a few chords. I'm not very good. Everybody's going to be looking at me thinking, what's he doing with that? All this type of stuff. Do you know, you've really just got to ignore all that stuff. And I know it's easier said than done, but you've just got to find yourself a little quiet corner in the shop and turn your back to everybody else and just have a little doodle and a little bit of a play along to yourself. Don't be intimidated by anybody. You get all these players going in there shredding 1,000 miles an hour. It sends me to sleep personally, but it is intimidating when you're in the shop. So just find yourself a little space, and whatever it is you're buying, even if you're only spending a couple of £100, it doesn't matter, or a couple of $100, it really doesn't matter. Just find yourself a little space, try not to be intimidated, and just explore all these guitars that you have on offer. And that is my little bit of a tip, okay? So that's what I would like to say. Right, okay, so yeah, this is a nice guitar. It's a very light guitar, this one. It's a mahogany. It's my kind of first mahogany back and sides, this one. All the other stuff I have is rosewood back and sides, so it gives a very different sound. It's kind of nice for, let me just... I need a little while to warm up. Often that's the problem when I'm on the show, that I just don't, it's straight on you and stuff. So you're just going to have to bear with me a minute, folks, because I just want to, warm up a little bit, which is what I don't get a chance to do. And when you're playing this kind of finger picking stuff, so... So this guitar's lovely for all that kind of finger picking stuff and everything. It's really, really nice little tune that. Scott, that tune is called Sunset Rag, and I've done a lesson on it actually, and it's a beautiful little song. It really, really is a nice little song, and it's a real test of your technique as well. You know, there's a lot going on in it. So yeah, if you want to learn that one, it's called Sunset Rag. But I like doing all that kind of stuff, as many of you are probably aware, and it's a lovely little exercise. What I find with a lot of these finger picking songs, rags and blues and stuff like that, is they really, really improve your technique. So I've done many, many lessons whereby you can start at the very beginning and work yourself up to playing all this kind of stuff. Everything that you need really is there. And I would suggest that if it's something that you haven't done before, I've talked a lot about this alternating bass, and that's something that you really do want to get into because it's a lovely style and it's a great, it's a nice thing that gets you into playing all that stuff I've just played, that Sunset Rag and things like that. Mississippi John Hare he was a fantastic player and picker, and you can play a lot of his stuff very, very slowly, you know, and once you get the style you can apply it to a lot of other songs as well, you know, the basic kind of, he's got this, you know. So it's a really nice kind of style, just getting yourself going with those type of things. They're a very good grounding in finger picking. So, you know, that's another little thing that you can have a kind of think about, all right? Well, time is getting on, folks. It really, really is. And I wish this little show would last for hours. I really, really do. I wish you all had hours to stick here with me and kind of enjoy the evening. You know, it always goes too quick. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do our second play along, and that is Sweet Home Chicago, no less. All right, now before I do this, because we've got a few new people here tonight and things like that, thank you, Katie, by the way. Very valid point Katie makes there. And I do it myself, you know, I've watched something on YouTube and I go and watch something out without giving it a thumbs up. If every one of you just hits that thumbs up, it might just start sending messages to YouTube that something decent is happening on a Friday night, which would be fantastic, you know, because they might push it a little bit more. So if you've watched any of my videos, always try and give them a thumbs up and things. And it's the same with subscribing as well. If you haven't subscribed, okay, I'd really appreciate you doing that, obviously. Okay, so what I'd like to do now is, as I say, most of you will be familiar with the Sweet Home Chicago. I'm hoping that some of you out there are going to be joining me with the picking, and some of you are going to be doing the strumming version of the song, okay? Because, you know, it's the thing I like about this is that there are different, you know, there's different levels. So if you're a little bit kind of intermediate, then you can do this picking version. That's what I'm going to be doing, okay? And so are some of the intermediate players, I'm hoping as well. Some of you are going to be doing that with me, okay? That's really, really important. Try and push yourself. Don't forget, this is the time to do it. You can feel relaxed, you know, there's no pressure. So if you're thinking, you know what, I'm going to give the finger picking a little bit of a try here. It doesn't matter if it all goes wrong. So what? It really doesn't matter. So I'd like some of you to join me for the finger picking. For those of you who aren't sure and you want to do the simple version is just the hey baby, don't you wanna go? Yeah, that type of thing. So I'm hoping that we've got some beginners who join us, some intermediate, and maybe some advanced people out there as well. Hey, 100k, that would be fantastic, Aimless. Now we're dreaming. That would be my ultimate dream. If I could even just get to 400 patrons, I'd be on top of the world. So see if we can, pull that one off as well. That would be fabulous, all right? So, are we ready for our sweet home Chicago? All right. I'm not going to start yet. I'm going to wait for you all to tell me that you're ready. And then I'm going to give you a moment, because you've had to type, to come back and join me. So I just want to know that we're all ready to roll on this one. Sal is ready. Thank you, Sal. Wayne's ready. Leo's ready. We really did miss you, Leo. Sal's ready. Thank you, Endless. You're a star, man. Patrice ready. Julie ready. Paul ready. Scott ready. Fantastic. All right. Boulder Designer ready. David Stanley's ready. Michael Burke's ready. Brad's ready. Hey, Julie, are you ready for this sing-along? I want to hear you over here on the island. We're the only one of the very few places who is in the lowest kind of tier. But I can't have much fun because I can't blooming go anywhere. Everybody else is in a high tier. All right, so we're all ready, yeah? And this one goes like this. I'm going to give you a moment, folks. Preston's ready. Great stuff, Preston. I was hoping you was going to join us. Have you got that Gibson L00 ready there, Preston? In tears. Katie's ready as well. God, this is magic, magic. Mike's ready. Dirt's ready. Endless ready. Oh, baby, don't you want to go? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4. I said, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Fantastic. Back to the land of California, my sweet home Chicago. Hey, baby, don't you wanna go? I said, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Back to the land of California, my sweet home Chicago. Now 1 and 1 is 2, baby. 2 and 2 is 4. My heavy loaded baby. Booked, gotta go. I'm singing, hey, yeah. Baby, don't you wanna go? Back to the land of California, to my sweet home Chicago. Now 2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 2 is 6. You're gonna keep monkeying around here, friend, boy. You're gonna get your business all in a trick. I'm singing, hey, hey, baby, don't you wanna go? Fantastic. Back to the land of California, my sweet home Chicago. Now 2 and 2 is 4. 4 and 2 is 6. You're gonna keep monkeying around here, friend boy. You're gonna get your business in a trick. I'm crying, hey, yeah. Baby, don't you wanna go? Back back to the land of California, sweet home Chicago. Now 6 and 2 is 8, 8 and 2 is 10. Friend boy, she tricked you one time, she sure gonna do it again. I'm singing, hey, yeah, baby, don't you wanna go back to the land of California, my sweet home Chicago. I'm going to California, from there to Des Moines. Someday will tell me that I'm gonna need your help someday. I'm crying, hey, yeah, baby, don't you wanna go back to the land of California, finish my sweet home Chicago. Absolutely fabulous, everybody. I'm loving that. That was well and truly beautiful. So much so I could almost do it again. That was really, really fabulous. Yeah. And I'm glad it doesn't matter. We demolished it. Mike Laurie there. Great to see you. And Dave Adams. We've got some new folks here. What about the harmonica? Like, oh, you don't want much, do you, Richard? I'm doing my best here. I'm trying to get you all playing along and everything. Endless Nameless. Brilliant. Sounds great. Pat, I'm glad you've enjoyed it, Pat, because I know you just like the music. And you're not so, keen on the chat, perhaps. So it's always a little bit difficult because some people just want to hear me play. Other people like to have some of the tips. So I'm just trying to cover all those bases. And I hope that I haven't done such a bad job tonight, folks. I always try and do my best for you. So, it's that kind of time again. We've run out of time and it just goes far, far too quickly. I generally get asked to do one for the road, and I'm not ready to go yet, actually, folks. I'm up for doing another song, actually. I just like having you folks around, so if you're happy to stick around, I'm happy to stick around. What would Pat like? What would Pat like? We all seem to be playing stuff for Pat here. What would you like to hear, Pat? Come on, you better think. Didn't you like I'll Be Your Baby Tonight? Jewel, I knew you'd say something like Peaches. It's open tuning, Jewel, unfortunately. I don't do Hallelujah, I'm afraid, Pat. I could do it for you. Oh, yeah, do you know what? How about Alberta? How about if we all played a little bit of Alberta? Was everybody up for that? Leonard Cohen. I haven't done any. I'll tell you what, I'll do your Leonard Cohen one next time, yeah? Because I can't always remember the Leonard stuff straight off the top of my head. Let's see what I've got here in my... Yeah, Boulder Designer, I'll see you there. That sounds great. Alberta play along, Leo. Right, let's do it. All right, is everybody get yourselves ready? We're going to be doing a bit of Alberta. So you got to get yourselves ready here, folks. Are we ready? Cat Stevens, yeah? Like the smile good. Ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. Oh, well, tell me when you're ready. Tell me when you're ready for the Alberta, folks. I'm just doodling around. are we ready, folks? Yeah, ready to roll. Sal's ready. Leo's ready. You've got to be ready for this one. We're all ready. We're all going to go for it. All right. Love it. Wild Whale, Dan Alberta. Oh, that's lovely, Mum. I'm glad you enjoy it. That's fabulous. As long as I know you're good and well, Mum, that's the main thing. This one is for you, Mum. Alberta. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. Alberta, Alberta, where you been so long? Alberta, Alberta, where you been so long? Ain't had no loving, that's a fact, since you've been gone. Alberta, Alberta, where'd you stay last night? Alberta, Alberta, where you stay last night? Come home this morning, clothes don't feel right. Alberta, Alberta, where you're on my mind. Alberta, Alberta, girl, you're on my mind. Ain't had no loving since you've been gone. Solo, away you go. I'm going to back you up. Fantastic. Hello, Dave. Alberta, Alberta, girl, you're on my mind. Alberta, Alberta, girl, you're on my mind. Come home this morning, clothes don't feel right. Finish. Absolutely fabulous, Richard. I'm glad you're blowing your harp there. I could hear you coming through loud and clear. I was wondering who was playing that harp there. Fabulous. Did you play Nobody Wants You When You're Down and Out? Yeah, I do. Yeah, that's... Yeah. Yeah, don't get me started anyway. Okay, so I am glad that you've all had a nice time this evening, because I've had a fantastic time. It's always the highlight of my Friday, and I'm really, really grateful for you to join me tonight. I really do appreciate it. So now it's time for some goodbyes. If you say goodbye to me, I'm going to say goodbye to you, because this is the time when I do it, and I thank everybody for joining me, for your continued support. Don't forget, keep in touch with me. Tell me the kind of things you'd like to see on the show, and we can make that happen together. Okay, so time for the goodbyes to everybody. Julie Flower, great big goodbye with a great big kiss on the cheek. Sal Cook, Fedexto, Mum, Marty Pello, Petula, Boomer, Julie Ferrari, Andrew, Paul Hilliker, OJ, Leo Gibson, Sal Cook, David Stanley, Dave Pye, Boulder Designer, wow, The Flying, Scott, Michael Burke, Super Ring of Fire, Jonathan Impens, Bob Hardy, thank you again Bob, Endless Nameless, Wayne Dell, Ocon, great to see you Ocon, Richard Mongan, great to see you too. Gary Curtis, David Adams, Alex Richardson, Bruce Dorfman, Terry Cook, Jerry Witt. Wow, we've got loads of people here tonight. Is there anybody I haven't mentioned? Oh, Katie, thanks very much for joining us, Katie. And Leo. Yeah, Leo as well. I nearly forgot you then, Leo. Preston. You're very, very welcome, Preston. That's our friend over in Louisiana, no less. Thank you very much for joining us, Preston. It's lovely to see you here with us tonight. Paul Hilliker, Gordon Taylor, Night Night Mum, you go well. Ernesto, great to see you, Ernesto. And I think that's everybody, unless I've forgotten somebody. Do me again, do me again. Okay, Boomer, I'll do you again. Hey, Rod, great to see you, Rod. Thanks again. Have a great weekend, Paul. Yeah, that's absolutely fabulous. Okay, everyone, you take care now. I'm looking forward to the next show already. Thanks for joining me and everything, folks. Take care. See you later.